Hello, 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 and happy Sunday. It's almost Monday. Um, and so I wanted to go live tonight because I um I almost didn't, and then I was like, you know what? Let me go live because this is the full moon, and I kind of want to just help you guys capitalize on this energy. So before I get started, if you are new to me or my page or any of my content in social media land, my name is Kay Catrice. I am the Natal Chart Navigator, and I am an intuitive energy reader. And I help women to understand who they are energetically so that they can live their best lives and live on purpose. And so tonight we have the full moon in Aries, um, which is a really it's super cool because it's not just the full moon in Aries. This moon is also conjunct Chiron, and Chiron is the wound that we are born with. It's a wound, a deep wound, like a soul level wound. And so to have this full moon conjunct Aries, um, and then the sun is in Libra. This is really, really going to be an amazing time for healing. Okay. It's kind of like we've reached a culmination. If you think back to when the new moon was in Aries, this was back in April, beginning of April. I think like April 1st was when the new moon was. And that new moon gave us possibility. It opened us up. It opened us up for possibility. And so now here we are 6 months later, because it does take 6 months from new moon to full moon in the same sign. And so here we are 6 months later, and it's like, okay, it's time to release all that did not serve us when it comes to relationships, because this is the relationship axis. Okay, the Libra is the sign of partnerships, and Aries is the sign of self, and they are opposite each other. So this is the relationship axis. So where have you been imbalanced in your relationships? Um, or within yourself? Where have you been imbalanced? And what do you need to do to step into your I am? Because Aries is the first sign of the zodiac, Aries is the sign of the self. Aries, the mantra for Aries is I am. Okay. So, not only is this full moon and Chiron in Aries, we also have Pluto that went direct. Um, it had been in retrograde since about 5 months ago. So since about what April, May, February, something like that. It's been a minute. It was like earlier in the year is when it went retrograde in the sign of Capricorn. Okay, so Pluto is now stationed in direct. Um, Pluto is the planet of transformation. And so while Pluto was retrograde, it was giving us a chance to rethink what it is, the parts of our lives that Capricorn is all about status and achievement, and legacy. And so the parts of our life where Capricorn is in our chart, Pluto was retrograde, giving us a chance to revamp, rethink about how it is we want to do things in that area of our life. And so now that it has stationed direct today, it's like we have the green light. We, really take on and embody our healing, and then we rise like the phoenix in that area of life that is Capricorn. Um, so the moon is going to affect your Aries house. Okay. Um, so I'll tell you guys about my chart, um, just so it makes more sense to you in a human, like it doesn't sound so abstract. So I'll break it down for you in my chart. So for me, in in my chart, this full moon is going to be affecting me in my 12th, in my ninth house. Okay. Ninth house is the house of beliefs. Okay. It's religion, philosophy, morality, ethics, beliefs, higher education, foreign cultures, long distance travel, publishing, and teaching. It is the natural house of Sagittarius. Okay. And so for me, this full moon back in April at the new moon, I did what's called the Landmark Forum. Okay. And in the Landmark Forum, the guy, I can't think of his name, Larry, boom, that's his name. Larry, really great guy. He was really, really good black guy. And he kept talking about possibilities, possibilities. Just open yourself up to the possibility of something new. It doesn't have to be what you're looking like, what it looks like today. You can open yourself up to possibilities for something new. And it was really, really great form. And I left there and I was, all fired up and gung ho, okay, for the possibilities. Now, the same week, I had just started a new coaching program, like a new coaching program, accountability program, and my coach had her coach there, and we were talking about our gifts. I remember us talking about our gifts, and so one of my gifts. So we was no, we was talking about gifts, and then we started talking about what would hold us back. Okay, so this is where the Chiron placement comes in. Okay, and this is why I love astrology, because if you really take the time and 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 pay attention to the astrology, you don't even have to study it like knee deep, right? If you just take the time and pay attention to the astrology, then you'll see how it really does play out in your life. Okay. So we were talking about things that hold us back. And one of the things for me was the rejection. Okay. Um, a wound because that's my Chiron wound. Okay. So it's taking place in my 10th house. Okay. 10th house is the house of career. Okay. And public persona. Okay. And so we were talking about that, and and so I talked about, what triggered that or whatever when I was younger. And um, he, my coach's coach was saying, so for 30 plus years, you've allowed, this wound to keep you, to hold you back, to keep you from really, um, coming into your full potential. Okay. And so this moon is really powerful, because not only is it going to be impacting my beliefs, okay, because my beliefs have been just changing rapidly within the last 6 months, right? Not just that, but also giving me the chance to, within these 6 months, I've been really working on that Chiron wound, working on that wound of rejection, right? And then in my Libra house, because it's not just the Aries the house that's going to be illuminated and affected, it's also going to be your um, your Libra house. But before I get to that, you also have to look at your first house, because your first house is the house of self. Aries rules the first house. My first house is Leo, okay? And so for me, it is, I am working on my I am so that I can show up powerfully, so that I can show up in that Leo way, in that way of, Leo is ruled by the sun, so the sun just shines, right? And it doesn't ask for permission. It doesn't ask for anybody to approve of it shining. It just knows that it rises every day and it shines until it's time for it to set. And so this is affecting the way I look at what it is that I do. How do I want to show up powerfully? How do I want to show up like the sun and just shine and actually not actually shrink back because of being worried about what others would say about me, right? And so I know I'm kind of being a little personal, but I done got to the point because I'm 40 now, child. I love saying that. I done got to the point to where I truly, really don't give a damn what people think about me. I really don't. Like I done been through way too much in my life to really give a shit about what people think about me personally. Um, but I know by me explaining, how I actually use astrology in my life, because this ain't just something that I'm trying to sell y'all. Like this ain't it ain't even no, I use this in my real life. Like I use this in my real life to help me navigate my own life. And so I'm showing you how it works, but also teaching you so that you can use to learn astrology in your own life so that you can navigate your life. Because once you know who you are energetically, right? And you know how, because we live in a this is all energy, okay? The world, everything, like it's all energy based, right? Attraction marketing, when you're on the internet and they talk about attraction marketing, well, you got to use your energy to attract people to you. But if you don't know what your energies is, how the hell you going to attract somebody to you, right? So you got to learn who you are first, because the law of vibration comes before the law of attraction. The law of vibration is first, and then comes the law of attraction. So you got to understand your energy first. And once you understand your energy, then you can put the law of attraction into use. Okay? Because everybody don't manifest the same. Everybody don't manifest the same. I don't give a darn what these folks out here trying to sell y'all. Everybody don't manifest the same because everybody got different energies. It's 12 energies, right? It's only 12 energies because it's 12 zodiac signs. It's 12 energies. But it is numerous possibilities and combinations of these energies. So everybody don't manifest the same. So if you're having an issue with manifesting, it could be because you're trying to manifest like somebody else. But I'm getting off topic. So okay, so then you also have to look at your Libra house. Okay, what house is your Libra house in? For me, it's third house is communication. Third house rules communication, siblings. It also rules social media, extended family, neighborhood, community, short distance travel, early education, communication, and your mindset. Okay. So my mindset is totally different than what it was hell a year ago. And I have Pluto in this house, okay? So it's going to affect, so Pluto going direct is going to not only affect this house here for me, but it's also going to affect my sixth house because my sixth house is Capricorn, which is the house of daily work, routines, and things of that nature, and your health. So there's going to be a whole transformation taking place in my third house where Pluto is, which is going to subsequently cause transformation to happen in my sixth house because that's where Capricorn is. Okay. But it's also like a ripple effect going to cause transformation in my 10th house because that is the natural house of Capricorn. Okay. And I have Chiron in that house. So there's going to be a lot of healing going on in that house. Okay. And then because Libra is the natural house of Libra is the seventh house, which is serious partnerships, marriage, business partnerships, negotiations. Um, there's some healing going on within personal relationships. Relationships that um, of that sector for me. So this is a really powerful moon. Most of the time when we talk about the full moon and how powerful they're going to be, um, and full moon releasings are powerful. Okay, they really are powerful, but none of them are going to be as powerful as this one. Especially, I mean, October is going to be a really transformative month, and I told you guys that at the beginning of the month on the first, my post. I told you I was like, um, you're gonna this month is gonna get you in balance, and it's also gonna be a month of transformation for you. Okay, because we're gonna be moving into Scorpio season, which one of the rulers of Scorpio is Pluto, and Pluto is all about transformation, death, transformation, and rebirth. Okay. And so there's going to be a lot of transformation and rebirth happening um, during Scorpio season that leads us into November. Okay. And then we have Sagittarius season towards the end of November. And that is where we're going to take off on our new trajectory. We're going to be on our new path, and you're going to take off on your new trajectory, and you're going to, it's going to be like the Fool and the Tarot, the Fool card and the Tarot. And you're going to take off there, and then you have Capricorn season that comes. You're gonna get that work in to solidify that new path. So the next 3 seasons are really, really important for you to get yourself set up for 2023. So you really want to um, get, don't squander this full moon energy. Okay, that's the best I can think, the best I can say to you. I didn't do a full moon video. I normally don't do full moon videos, but um, I may start doing full moon videos on the university, full moon update university, transit. Y'all know what I'm saying. I upload a video, for the full moon on the university on the YouTube channel, just to explain because full moons are really powerful. This is a really powerful one, and I hope you really do listen to it. And if you have your chart, I would invite you to look at your chart and see where these placements are. See where Aries is in your chart. See where Libra is in your chart. See where Capricorn is in your chart. And then look and see, what houses those are in, um, to see how they will affect you. Um, because it's going to be a really powerful full moon, and then we're getting up into eclipse season as well. Eclipse season starts with the new moon in Scorpio at the end of the month. I think it's a partial solar eclipse, and then next month is the full moon lunar eclipse. I think it's lunar. I don't know. Child. I don't know which one, I get them twisted, but all I know is we're getting into eclipse season, so things are really, really they're turning around, and they're getting. If you've been struggling, then just know that the struggle is you're done. Okay, you're done, and you just gotta keep on your trajectory, keep going, keep the faith, don't lose the faith, and know that things are gonna work out for you. Okay. So I really hope you found value in this live. Like I said, I wasn't gonna go live, but then I was sitting, I was thinking, and I was like, you know what? I think I am because I want people to see how to use this in real life, how to use astrology in your real life. Um, once you learn about the energies, because all it is energy. Once you learn about the energies and you learn how the energies really play out in real life, it really can help you to to figure out your life path, to figure out what it is you came here to do, and to get on that trajectory. Um, you know. So I get excited about astrology, and I get excited about teaching. I love to teach and educate people, so everybody can live their best life. But I do have a new service. I'm so super excited about this service. I have a new service that I am offering. It's energetic compatibility readings. And this is not a synastry reading, so I do not need another person to do this reading for you. Basically, what this reading is I tell you I look at your chart, I pull your chart, and based on your placements, based on the energies that you were born with, I let you know which energies are the most compatible with you. Because, see, in this season, what we're not doing is we're not going to keep going on all these blind dates and doing all these things. We're gonna leverage all of the tools at our disposal so that we can live a life of ease. My coach, my friend, my mentor, it's Keisha LaShawn. She talks about Receive with Ease. She has an amazing program, Receive with Ease. I'm so grateful to be a part of. And we just receiving with ease. So, this is a great way for you to know what energies are most compatible with yours. And so that way it does save you time because, um, if you're talking to somebody and, say your sun sign is, say, Virgo, right? And you meet an Aries, you already know right off rip that's not gonna work for you. That ain't gonna work for you. That it ain't gonna work for you. It's just not because they too impulsive. They way too impulsive, and you gonna be wanting them to, plan things out. They're not gonna plan nothing. They're just gonna go. They're gonna get an idea and they're gonna go, and you're gonna be still trying to plan, and you're gonna be frustrated, and they're gonna be frustrated, and that's just not gonna work. It's just not gonna work. So I'm super excited. Oh my gosh, also I didn't even see um all the comments. Oh, thanks. I'm glad I went live too. Cause I sure started not to, but yes, yes, yes. So I'm just rambling. But if you would like to book a energetic compatibility and numerology reading with me, because I do give you, yeah, I also talk about your life path as well, and the best life path numbers that are most compatible with yours as well. So I think my link, yeah, you can click on my link to book one of those readings. I do have a special for the first 7 ladies that book. So if you want to save some money on a reading, you definitely want to go ahead and book because once I hit 7, it goes back up to the regular price. So you guys have an amazing rest of your day because it is now Monday. And remember that possibilities are endless. If you can see it in your mind, you can hold it in your hand, and that should make you smile because you really do create your own reality. Have a good one.